To quote Waterstones, to ensure that a mysterious island has not fallen into enemy hands, a crippled ship owner must sail into a deadly storm in this pulsating novella from Sanderson's Stormlight archive series. Well, hello. My name is William James. I'm the host of the Book Geek, and I want to talk about Dawnshard. So the publisher was very kind enough, thank you Titan for sending this to me. I'm actually in shock, I'm a huge Sanderson fan. It took me a long time to find rhythm with his work, and this actually is partly why I'm a fan. So I'm not going to go too much into a synopsis because I don't think you guys need to know it. I'm going to leave that one to you. I did my little piece at the beginning, but this takes place within the Stormlight archive series. It's kind of like a 3-point whatever, and it focuses on two characters who are, actually a set of characters who are background characters, who are characters that we don't spend a lot of time with in the main book. What can I tell you about it? A. Sanderson's world building is amazing. And I mean that, like, his world building is spectacular. And this is short, this is 200 and something pages, but within that 200 and something pages, you really do get this rich, indulgent world that he creates and talks about. And it's just so well done. Like, I was shocked. And that's where he's like king of fantasy, to be honest. I know all the blue ticks on Twitter are triggered by him. To be real about it, jealousy is fun. This, also we got the better deal with the cover in the UK, I think. This is my thing. Like, these characters, a lot of times you read a novel and you'll get the characters that you like. They're background characters, and often they're better than the main characters, or they're just as interesting. And I'm glad that he's kind of done this. I'm glad that he went into his like archive of these characters and told this little side story. Do you need to read this to understand the rest of the series? No. Do you need to read the rest of the series to understand this? No. It's a nice little standalone set within that world, and it's really well done. The characters are rich and dense and have lots of layers to them. And the writing is typical Sanderson fare. Well written, well done, concise, clean, and by the way, just beautiful woodcuts dotted throughout this little book. I think the American edition is smaller than this, but we definitely got the better end of the deal in the UK, because I mean, look at that. Sanderson is one of those writers that has built up a career through sheer hard work and built a phenomenal world. His videos on writing, his videos on characterization are fantastic, so any wannabe writer, watch his stuff. Even if you're not necessarily a fan of his work, watch his videos, you'll see what I mean. Just a beautiful little novella, gives you this atmosphere, and it's also really, and I will add to this, it's spooky. That's the thing, there is a spookiness to this, because it sets the mood, and it has quite a dark tone throughout, but it's spooky. And I like that, I appreciate that in fantasy, because sometimes it can be, we're going on an adventure today, ooh, ghost ship. No, oh god, this is a ghost ship, we have to go to this island, this is going to be hell. They're totally very different, and this is a prime example of that. Great little book. Sanderson is a wordsmith, and just, I love his use of English, I love his use of language, full stop. He's very fluid and floral with his words, and I don't mean that in a negative sense. His descriptives are fantastic, and it really does paint the mood, and I was reading this, I read this through in less than a day. It's short, like I said, it's like 240 something pages, so that's not bad. That's just a nice little novella and a nice intro. This is a firm 5 out of 5, and just great writing, and it's... Thank you, Titan. I didn't think I was going to get this, because no one ever emailed me back saying it was on its way, so it just turned up, and I was like, yay! Sanderson is one of those great writers, and I've talked about his work on my channel before, and it took me a long time, like I said. You have this rhythm with writer's work, and once I found that, I found it, and I listened to the Mistborn series on audio, and then went through the rest, and I'm currently in the middle of the Stormlight archive. I always say Starlight Archive, and I know why. There is an Out of Dance album that I own called Starlight Archive. It's Ministry of Sound. Really good if you can find it. But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, you just have this writer that's great fantasy and great world building, great characters and great fun. And I think a lot of fantasy is basically a love story reskinned, especially in the YA side of fantasy, where it can be very generic, and here is a revenge tale and a few other things, and it's like, well, this is done now. I mean, I read a book recently that I'm doing for review on this channel. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera, I'm just going through the book list. And I think it was A Taste of Golden Rust or something, and it was the most cliched, generic fantasy novel I've ever read in my life. It was almost cringeworthy. It was kind of like angsty teenage fan fiction set in the Ottoman Empire. It was so strange. This is how fantasy should be done. And sadly, writers like him are a rare breed now, because they are. And watching people get jealous over his work because, you know, white male privilege is bull, by the way. It's just funny because, you know, if you put this much work and effort into something, then it actually might sell. But yeah, Sanderson is phenomenal. This is a great little novella. I've gushed enough. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later.